Are you hosting an event in 2026 or beyond? Or maybe you already hosted an event and you feel that itch that something can be better, that you can create a better experience? Well, this is the video for you. I'm going to show you how you can take your event, if it's online like a virtual summit or in person conference or workshop or retreat, how you can take it to the next level. Hi, if you're new here, my name is Andrea. I'm the Irresistible Experience Creator. I've been producing and planning events since 2008. Don't let this baby face fool you. And I've created a formula to help you make your events irresistible. So, I call it the Irresistible Experience Formula. And with all of my experience in person events and then producing online summits since 2019, I've realized that a lot of people think that they know how to plan and produce events, but they really can't. I'm not saying that they can't. They have, but they haven't done it in a way where the audience, the speakers, and themselves feel like this is the best experience they've ever hosted. What happens when you're DIYing your events, when you're trying to do events and you heard and you saw that your leaders, they're hosting events, and you try to do it by yourself without any guidance, what happens is like throwing spaghetti at the wall. And that, my friend, is not going to cut it in 2026. Our market, the market has changed. The audiences, those who are still investing in going to in-person events, and those who are investing their time to still attend online summits, they are more weary about so many things, like wasting their time listening to the same information over and over again, to getting forced into buying upsells to listen to the replays because there's not enough time to watch the replays for the virtual summit. Or they have to think about spending all that money. They don't see it as an investment. Not everybody sees it as an investment. It is an investment to go to events. I love events. I'm obsessed with events. That's what I've been doing in my career, events. And I'm an attendee as well. I love attending events and I love connecting with people in real life and virtually as well. So when you're hosting events, even if you have a professional event planner and producer, sometimes we are dropping balls. And when I say dropping balls, it's like dropping tasks. I say this to my clients. Event planning is like juggling balls, okay? Some balls, we're gonna throw them and they're gonna become rubber as they drop, and then we're gonna pick them up again. And then some balls are going to turn into crystal and we're gonna let them break. So it depends on the priority of the task or what we want to achieve. Now, I see a lot of people making so many mistakes, like for example, choosing a venue before even choosing the topic and the content flow and the speakers and the experience. So we want to avoid those problems. Now, today I'm going to walk you through the Irresistible Experience Formula. This formula, I created it based on all the things I saw that everybody was doing wrong, plus my experience in events. And also based on all the other events that are doing it right. And they're doing it in a way that creates an experience that's irresistible and unforgettable for everybody. Now, what is this formula? This formula has 5 stages, 5 senses, and 5 event languages. Now, the 5 stages is how you take your idea from your event up to how you profit. So stage number 1 is design it. We're going to design it intentionally. We're going to use the 5 senses and the 5 event languages so that we create an experience that is multisensory and unforgettable plus profitable. Then once we've designed it, we're going to build it and apply the 5 senses and the 5 event languages to everything that we're building, from the websites, the email communication, the canned responses, the venue, the decoration, the goodies that we're sending, etc. All right, and then we're going to fill the event. So stage number 3 is fill it. We're going to fill that venue, or we're going to fill that online venue, get all the butts and seats that we can, and we're going to market it ourselves. So one of the biggest mistakes I've seen with hosts doing online summit, especially the newbies, is that they think that the speakers are going to carry the summit and market it and get all the butts and seats. Mistake, huge mistake. You are the host of the event. So make sure that you're screaming it through the rooftops that you're hosting a freaking event. And you're promoting it, and you're running ads, and you're getting sponsors to pay for those ads, and you are the one that is promoting it the most every day, 3 to 5 to 10 times a day, in all social media platforms. Yes, all of them. It's your event, so make sure you do. And then stage number 4 is we produce it. We create that experience. We give the audience the content. We show up on Zoom and have the speakers come and speak. Or you're giving a workshop. Maybe it's a workshop and you show up and you give the workshop. And then the last stage is when we profit. Now we're profiting from the affiliate stage, but we also think about what we're going to sell after the event, because the event is not the end, is the means to the end. Now let me dive a little deeper on what the 5 senses and the 5 event languages are, because these are the ones that are going to take your event to the next level. So let's review the 5 senses. If you don't remember the 5 senses, we got sight, hearing, smell, taste, and touch. Now, we have different ways of activating smell, taste, and touch when it comes to online events, as we have when it's in person. Now, I've created a GPT called ISA, and it will help you go through answering questions so that you can adapt it and personalize it for your event. So if you want the GPT, the link is in the description below. It's only $97 one time, and it will ask you all the probing questions, and it's going to give you ideas on how to adapt it to everything. So, sight, what do they see? Everything that they see, the graphics, the platform, the mobile app, the faces of your speakers, your face should be smiling. You should be looking presentable, because perception is reality. People will judge you in the first half a second when they see you. I don't know what the statistic is anymore. I think it's like 5 seconds. They will judge you, and they will judge you. Like, we want to pretend, and we want to say, oh no, you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. And I'm an avid reader, okay? But I judge the book by its cover, and everybody else secretly does too. So I'm here to tell you what people are secretly thinking. So we gotta make sure that we are creating graphics and our branding is showing throughout the event funnel. We wanted to make sure that it's easy, because easy gets you more leads. Easy gets you more sales. If you make your audience jump through hoops to get a ticket, like for example, I have some of my colleagues that I want to call you out on this. Do not ask for your audience name and email before giving a freaking prize to an event. I hate that with the passion of 1,000 suns. I can, sorry for screaming, sorry for yelling. When I get really passionate and excited, I raise my voice. Don't do that. Do not make people jump through hurdles to get to the information. Be clear and be transparent from the beginning. Plus, let's not use softwares that look like 1994. We're in 2026. Make sure it's modern. Make sure it appeals to all audience, and make it gorgeous and pretty, because even though ugly sells, because done is better than perfect, if you can hire a graphic designer that will Stay true to your brand and to the brand of the event that could be adjacent to your brand. It doesn't have to be exactly like your brand, but it has to be about your brand. So for example, my visual branding is more blues and oranges, and it's about relaxing at the pool and like making everything easy and chill, but also luxurious. The summit I hosted last year, the 5-star community summit, we went deep into a sunset because I'm obsessed with sunsets. So we used one of my brand elements, and then we used the other brand element, palm trees and like being at the cabana club, and we mixed them into a warm tone and warm feeling that people feel safe in. So all these things are important because we want people to see visuals and immediately recognize you. Just like the big brands do it. You see a red beverage, and what do you think first? Obviously Coca-Cola, right? You see I don't know, a tissue, and instead of calling it tissue, you call it Kleenex, because that's top of mind. So we got to use marketing, the basis of marketing 101, to bring people into top of mind. So every time that they see something that you put out, they're like, oh, that's so and so. Okay, so sight is very important. When it comes to hearing, we got to make sure that the audio is correct, that our speakers are speaking audibly, like they're enunciating, having also subtitles or closed captions for our audience. Super important, especially when sight and hearing is actually a spectrum. There's not, like, I'm not wearing my glasses, but I do need a little bit of glasses. My prescription is the lowest of my family though. So you got to think about those things too, right? If this letter is too small, who's going to read that? Nobody, right? That's why I send my emails in 0.16. And then, even though they're huge, it doesn't matter because I want people to be able to read it. So do the squint test like this. If you squint and you can still read it, you're good. Okay? Don't try to use fancy fonts that nobody understands either. Now, when it comes to the smell, the taste, and the touch with virtual, we have to activate it with words of impact. That's one of the 5 event languages. To implement the Irresistible Experience Formula, you gotta ask better questions. You gotta ask yourself, what do they see? What do they hear? What do they smell? What do they taste? What do they touch? What are my words of impact? What are my actions? How am I giving quality time? What type of goodies am I providing to my audience and my speakers and my staff? And how I'm having fun. Now, I created a guide that's completely free so that you can answer those questions. And there's about 5 questions per sense and per event language, depending if you're hosting an in-person event or a virtual event, that you could get for free. You just have to go to guide.irresistibleexperiences.com and you can download it. It's a document and you can type all the answers so that it sparks ideas and you can brainstorm how can you apply the Irresistible Experience Formula to your events. This is how you're going to take it to the next level. And if you want AI to help you come up with ideas, I dumped all of my ideas and my process and my planners and everything into a GPT for ChatGPT. I'm also going to create it in the other AI soon, so stay tuned. But for now, there's a GPT where you can download and use and answer the questions to the AI, and it will give you ideas. And if that's not enough, you can also DM me and we can brainstorm together. You can book a call so that we can set up a VIP day to help you apply this strategy to your past events and your future events. And why do I say your past events? Because we can tweak and make that event better so that you host it again. Because we need to host events over and over and over again. And in order for our audience to know that we're going to show up, that we're reliable, and that we mean business, and that event is the solution to their problems. So I hope that you download the guide, get the GPT, or book a call at irresistibleformula.com/call. Let's continue. Let me break down the 5 event languages. So the event languages are words of impact, actions, goodies, quality time, and fun. All right. So with the words of impact, I called it this way because whatever we say, whatever we write is important. Words matter because they become matter. So if you're speaking to your audience in a condescending way, like they're stupid, everybody's gonna like click off or like leave, right? Nobody wants to be called down to, right? And that also takes me to your staff. Make sure that you're not yelling at them, that you're not being condescending, a little biatch, that you are always communicative. I always say there's no such thing as over communication. The more you communicate, the better. Please communicate and use words that elevate, that add, that actually inspire and impact our audience, our speakers, and our staff, and also to yourself. The way you speak to yourself matters. So do not say that you're overwhelmed. Say that you're, figuring it out. That you are not at capacity, and like, let's regulate that nervous system. Make sure that you're speaking good things to yourself as well while we're in the roller coaster of events, because hosting an event is not for the faint of heart. It's not for those who quit in the middle when it gets sticky. Please make sure that you have a support system, that you have someone or a team that you can rely on, because we're human. We're human. We're going to have bad days. We're going to have good days. We're going to have days when everything is like not working out, and we need a good support system to help us out. When it comes to quality time, make sure that you are providing quality time to your speakers, to your attendees, to your MCs, to your MC, not your MCs, because you only have one master ceremony, right? To your staff. Make sure that you are showing up, that when you say you're going to show up, freaking show up. It's not that hard. Put it on a calendar. Use your Google calendars or your iCalendars, because it reminds me on my phone. It reminds me on my tablet. It reminds me on my computer, right? Like, it sends me an email. Hey, you have this meeting, right? Make sure that you use your calendar so that you can provide that quality time. Make sure that you put everything on the calendar to get it done. The project management tool that I use is ClickUp. I will put my link below. I love ClickUp. It's very robust. It does everything. I like it way more than Asana and Monday and 17 Hats. Some of you love that, or you love Airtable and Dubsado and like, what's the other one? I forgot the name. It's fine. It doesn't matter. What I use versus what you use what works for you. For me, ClickUp works for me because I love color coding. I love assigning. I love that I can put in a meeting in one of the tasks. I love that it has to-do lists that are very flexible. I love their dashboards. It's so, so good. And their AI, so good as well. So that's what I use. Make sure you're on top of things. Make sure you update that project management tool, because I am guilty of that too. Because I'm like, boom, 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 done, 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 done. And then I'm like, I forget to go and to click up and like click, 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 click. So that's why I have it on my phone too. But make sure that you're using that so that you can give quality time to your audience. So Another example about quality time is how you create the schedule for the event. If you are packing the schedule, session back to session to session, session, you're not giving people breaks, or you're giving 5 to 10 minute breaks and then jumping into another session, people are adults. They're just going to stand up and leave, or stand up and go to the bathroom, or stand up and go hang out at the hall, right? We want to create spaces. We got to create spaces. I call this safe places of activation. We want to activate our audience's knowledge, their skills, and help them digest all the information that they got from the sessions. So if you can create spaces between sessions and not have like 30 sessions in one day, I think that's exhausting. And I know that your audience is already fed up about this, okay? We rather have workshops where we actually implement what we just learned than having a session and then another session and then another session and then another session, and like getting bombarded with all this information. Also, I don't really like huge conferences that have so many like what's it called? This huge conferences, even online. I saw this right during the pandemic, and I was like, no, this gives me FOMO. I want to be in all the tracks. Like having too many tracks is kind of overwhelming in my opinion. Like there's so many things and we want to watch everything. If we're interested in the general topic of the event, we want to look at all the tracks and we want to participate in all the tracks. So I am an advocate of smaller, niche down topics so that we can give quality time to our audience. General and too much information doesn't work right now in this market. Okay? So create events that are intentional when it comes to the sessions, that are niche down, that give people safe places of activation, and that give people that fire and that passion to go and apply everything that they learned at the event, and not just have the event bubble burst. And you know what? When they get home, they don't know what the heck to do. If that's the result of your event, you're doing it wrong. So make sure that you have a plan for your audience to apply after the event. Quality time after the event. Just like your offer, you have to have another offer that you give to your audience after your event, or during, to be delivered after the event. So that's quality time. With goodies is their gifts. Make sure that you give gifts. Even if it's virtual, you can give digital gifts, and you can send boxes via mail all over the world actually with goodies. Goodies that activate smell, taste, touch, hearing, and sight. Make sure you're intentional when you're creating these boxes. Make sure that you're activating in your audience the senses, creating a sensory experience that when they see, touch, smell, or taste something that you provided during your event, they're going to remember you. Be top of mind. Always going back to being top of mind. And then we got actions. Before I talk about fun, actions are the actions that you do, the actions that your staff, the speakers, the attendees, what are the actions? Are your words of impact matching your actions? Because actions speak louder than words. So we got to make sure that if we're saying something, we're going to deliver on that something. Always. Be ethical, man. That's it. Bruh, seriously. It's not that hard. And if you're promising all this magic in the marketing and then you don't deliver, guess who's going to be pissed? Guess who's going to be disappointed in you? Your audience. Is your audience going to show up again? Nope. Because you ruined that relationship. When we promise the world, the moon, the stars, and the planets, and we just deliver dirt and plants, or we promise something and then we deliver something completely different. I will always give this example. So there's these two big leaders that I actually like and follow, and they had this challenge. It was marketed as a branding challenge. And then when they delivered on info products. Hello? No, that is not the way to go. You cannot just promise something in your marketing and then not deliver it, because you're breaking the event promise. And if you break that event promise, people are not going to trust you. It's as simple as that. They're not going to trust you again. And breaking trust is super easy, but building trust is not. So make sure that you are on top of this. Make sure if you're promising something in your marketing, that your team and yourself deliver on this promise. And that's actions. The last event language is fun. I am obsessed with this, okay? If you're not having fun, you're doing it wrong. That's it. Events should be fun, exciting. They should make you feel giddy. They should make you feel so many good feelings. And if they're only making you feel the bad feelings, because they're going to come, of course, there's going to be times that you're going to be tired and overwhelmed and at capacity, and you're going to shut down, and you're going to go into flight mode and survival mode, into freeze mode or fight mode. It happens, but we got to use the tools that we have. And if you don't have the tools, I'll recommend you my coach below in the description. The Regulated Entrepreneur membership is where I've learned how to regulate my nervous system. And I teach my clients about this as well, because we need to regulate our nervous system. After all, we're human. Again, I said that, I know, but we're human, so you got to give yourself grace. And when we have those roller coaster of feelings, we got to check with our bodies. We got to check with our minds and see where we're at. Because if we're not having fun, something's not right. So I want you to have fun hosting these events. I want you to have fun planning the events. I want you to have fun creating the goodies, the actions, the funnels, the content, talking to your speakers. I want you to be having fun when you're creating the content to promote the event. All of this is important. And especially, I want you to have fun when you're producing the event, because this energy will be felt by your audience. Nobody talks about this. This is why I'm talking about it. It's important that you check yourself, check your nervous system, and see why you're not having fun. And if you can't pinpoint it, let's chat. Send me a DM on Instagram. I can help you pinpoint it. I can help you build a strategy so that everybody's having fun, and I can support you as well. So make sure that you're applying the 5 senses and the 5 event languages to all of your events so that you create unforgettable experiences and take your event to the next level. Now, how do you apply this? What type of questions you should be asking? Well, I created a free guide where I break down every single question that you need to answer in order to spark ideas on what you need to do to apply the 5 senses and the 5 event languages. All you got to do is go to guide.irresistibleexperiences.com and download it for free. I hope that helps you. I will see you in the next one. Thank you for being here. You know what to do. Comment, like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Have a great day. God bless you. Bye-bye.